Hi everyone, it's Fabi here. I wanted to film a last edition of video from my patio to close the season. Unfortunately, it seems that Mother Nature really took to heart the fact that it's the first day of autumn, and right now in Montreal it's cold and it's rainy. I don't know if you can hear my voice, but I'm dealing with a wicked cold right now. I'm like super medicated, so I've chosen not to take further risks, and I'm not gonna go film this outside and be prey to the elements. So as of today, I'm starting a new series. And since I am in my bedroom now, let's call it Bedside Babble. I kind of like it. I like the sound of it. So today I really want to explore our relationship with fear. It's a topic that keeps popping up in my conversations lately, and for me, that's always a sign that it's something worth exploring. I typically see two attitudes when it comes to fear. The first one is the one that seems to be very popular and reflected in in the tone of a lot of inspirational memes. That whole idea of crush fear, obliterate fear, and kick fear in the face. I think that it's a valid way of seeing things if that completely resonates with you, and if so, that's perfect. But I'm also going to assume that not everyone who uses these phrases completely embodies them. I certainly don't use them, and I think part of it is the very aggressive language that is associated with them. I'm always very mindful of the words that I use, so I can't authentically use that language even when it comes to fear. But I'll actually circle back to that later. Another common attitude that I see when it comes to fear, which is probably the most common, is shutting down. We feel threatened, so we armor up. Fear, it brings about so much discomfort that we really prefer blocking all of it away instead of exploring what's really going on. And while it's something that may keep us safe, and I literally use safe in quotation marks because I feel that even that safety is questionable, what it does above all is keep us stuck. We're afraid, so we don't move. Or we keep moving in a direction that pulls us away from our aspirations, but it helps us remain in relative comfort. So basically, on one hand, we have direct confrontation, and on the other, complete avoidance. I kind of like to adopt a different stance here. I think it's possible to recognize the fear. I think it's even very useful to accept its existence and to acknowledge it. But then it boils down to what we choose to do, because it's always a choice. We can still choose to go forward. We can lean into our fear, but learn to move through it. I think that more than the two previous attitudes, that's what will help us the most in going through life. There will always be situations and people that we can't avoid, from which we can't hide, and that, we certainly can destroy. I think that learning to dance with that discomfort, and I like the idea of dance because to me, that's what it is. You get a little bit and you come back, and there's a lot of movement. It's not necessarily a fun process, but it's certainly what will help us, and what will bring about the most resilience, which is really, really where we want to go. So I have a question for you now. I would love it if you took a second to type in the comments and let me know, what's your go-to attitude when it comes to fear? Do you automatically recoil? Or do you go in attack mode? Or are you a little bit, between the two? So take a second, share that with me, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Until then,